Awesome.
Awesome.
Hey, welcome to the Of Muse and Men podcast. I'm Darian,
And I'm Andy. Thanks for joining us.
and we're going to talk about some current events and stuff that bugs us, the stuff that we think is funny, and hopefully you'll enjoy it, and it'll be entertaining.
Some politics maybe, but nothing too heavy.
Nothing too heavy.
Just the
Keep it
comedy
light.
of it. We try and
Exactly.
keep it light, have fun, like he said.
Yeah, that's how we roll.
That's how we do it. Because Ricks don't ride, they glide.
That's right. So let's get to some stories. You ready, Andy?
I'm ready. What do we got?
Actually, why don't you start? You got a story for us, right? I think.
Dude, what is going on with a mom giving birth on a Philadelphia train and walking out with a baby still attached to the umbilical cord?
Andy, you sound like you're reading. Like
I am.
you go, hey, dude, what is going on with the?
Yes.
Hey, how about this?
Syndrome.
Hey, Andy, what is going on with that lady having a baby on the train or something like that? What, I mean, that's
Tuesday.
probably
It was
not
Tuesday.
that. But that's probably not that unusual. But I don't understand why she didn't like. She had the kid had the umbilical cord still attached or something like that.
Dude, I think it's pretty unusual to have a baby on a train.
It's probably not as unusual as we think, but the thing that's weird to me is any normal animal would chew through that thing.
Any normal animal. Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's not normal to carry off your baby with a cord
Still
hanging.
strapped to you.
And the thing I'm tripping out on is like, if that happens, is the baby now like breathing through that cord and stuff like that? Is that?
Well, you know you're supposed to clean out their mouth, like to get them to breathe and
Well, you tell me because you have the kid. Tell me
Yeah.
all about it.
It's pretty gross.
I can
It was
imagine.
one of the most disturbing.
I know you have to clean off like a lot of nasty blood and stuff like that.
Yeah, the doctors did that. But this lady.
By the way, if we're offending a lot of women out there, we're sorry, but we're men. And to
We're
us, that's
totally
gross.
not sorry.
That's why if we're in the birthing room with you, it's a miracle.
it is a miracle.
Yeah. So
But
if your husband is in there with you, or your baby daddy is in there with you checking it out and hasn't passed out, you should be totally thankful and
Keep him-
He's
keep him
really
around for a
he's
little
really
bit.
supporting you hardcore.
because it's pretty gross.
Totally.
Um,
Read a little bit of the story.
So,
What's it say?
The unnamed mother and her unborn child were en route to a doctor's appointment when the infant decided to make his first appearance in the world.
Uh-oh.
KYW-TV reported. After delivering a baby boy on a northbound SEPTA, Pennsylvania Transportation Authority train, Mom bundled her baby up in her clothes and approached an officer in Olney Station to tell him the good news. Said, "This is my baby. I just had a baby." The woman's arms with a tiny baby.
This is my other thing that I trip out on is what.
Head
was she
full of
having-
hair still attached to the umbilical cord.
But I mean, did she have people helping? Usually that requires like a midwife at least, right?
Well, in Africa, they like plop them out and get right
In
back
all
to
over
work.
Asia too, I guess.
Right.
But they have a totally different method. They do like a squatting birthing method,
Right.
like a giraffe or some shit.
Can you imagine if any American mom had to do that and go
That'd be totally metal. I
right
think,
back to picking strawberries
Yeah.
or rice or
or
something?
whatever. No, they don't. I think they have a little period of convalescence, but still, the thing that trips me out is like in a giraffe. I think the impact on the ground is what made. That's like basically spanking the baby.
Oh my god!
It's pretty hardcore. Nature is brutal.
Here is
brutal.
the weirdest part. The umbilical cord was still attached to the baby. That means that this lady still had the placenta inside of her still.
Oh my god! Now you're really freaking me out.
Dude,
I'm breaking out in a cold sweat.
maybe it's a hot sweat. This weather's fucked. But, dude, the placenta is the worst part of the birthing process. It's like this purple, bluish,
Yeah.
gnarly.
But don't people bake that up now and eat it?
Dude, and they put it into pills. They have someone put it into pills.
But
and
no, they
it's-
bake it into like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
a cake or something.
That's been
Placenta
going on
cake.
for years. But
What's up with that, dude? I am not down with the placenta cake.
do you like cryogenically freeze it and then feed it to your kid later on?
No, the woman eats it.
Dude, that's disgusting. But supposedly, it's
Maybe that
supposed
could be a good business. You can just go.
Oh
You can
my
probably get placentas for free from a hospital, right? Just cruise around with a big ice chest. Or like
That's
maybe
the
like
worst
an ice cream
business
truck.
model I've
Ice
ever
cream
heard
truck.
of.
You buy a used ice cream truck and cruise around to hospitals and say, "I'll take those placentas off your
Oh my
hand, please."
Dude, I'm about to throw up right
And
now.
then you bake them all into cakes and
You
muffins
obviously don't have
and
a
sell them to
kid.
Starbucks.
It's supposed to help with postpartum depression, but
No, I don't. I heard that people think it's like healthy or like I don't know. Maybe they think
Dude.
it's spiritual, some kind of
to eat your
metaphysical.
isn't
mumbo
that like
jumbo.
eating your babies? The Misfits
No, it's like
sing
eating
about
your
that, don't they?
baby's environment.
Environment.
Let's move on to the next story.
Next story.
Next story.
So, dude, did you hear about this diaper thing in Seattle?
I heard a little bit about it, but why don't you read it?
4 hours ago, ABC News reports that a pregnant Seattle woman was kicked off a city bus when her baby's dirty diaper was deemed to be a disturbance to other passengers.
Dude, it's a disturbance to me.
Dude, I'm not even there, and it's disturbing.
Can I read a little more?
She's questioning why normal baby behavior would lead her to be removed from city transportation. Any parent can tell you how stressful it is to travel with a baby. But Nicole Blank says the problem she ran into this week when she boarded a city bus with her 1-year-old took it to a whole new level. He had just pooped in his diaper as soon as I got on the bus.
No, so she's just sitting there just fermenting on the
just-
whole bus.
Baking on a stinky bus to begin with.
Well, I mean, okay, so
In
you're
Seattle,
a parent,
a
so
bunch of
has anything like that happened to you?
One time
Yeah?
at stall number 2.
At the studio?
Yeah, when he was just a real young baby. You smelled it before I
Did I kick you out?
You totally did. You
That's
covered
awesome.
your nose with your shirt, and you're like, dude,
Go to the lounge and do your business?
handle this.
That's awesome.
There's definitely some gross things about being a parent. I mean, but I don't think this is that outrageous that is disturbing.
It is, but I mean, at the same time, what is she gonna do? I mean, what? I guess she can get off and go into a McDonald's or something or a gas station and clean it up and then get back on the bus.
I agree, because that is a tough scenario to be in, because what if she's pregnant, maybe she's going to a doctor's appointment, she's going
is she
anywhere
pregnant?
she needs,
Or she just has
pregnant
a
and a baby.
Oh my God, double whammy.
Double whammy. So she's got some raging farts, dude.
Oh, we'll leave that one.
We'll let that dog
we'll let
sleep.
that slide. But that seems like quite a predicament for her. She's stuck on the bus, pregnant, with a kid that just
Dumped in his diaper.
filled it up.
I think it's just one of those moments that she has to kind of get over. I mean, obviously no one wants to get kicked off the bus for something you can't handle, but get over it.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, dude, if I had 7 kids with me, I wouldn't want to smell a baby's dirty ass diaper.
Yeah, totally. What's the next story?
Justin Timberlake marries Jessica Biel. So, parenting 101. How do you discipline your kid?
Well, what do you do?
I spank him.
Oh, you do?
If I have
I'm totally
to.
down with spanking. I got spanked my whole life.
I
and
did too.
Look how bad I turned out.
I know. I mean, you even made it through college and you got spanked. So,
Well, yeah, I was getting away from the spanking. But what did this person do?
with my kid, I just had to spank him a few times. Now I just have to ask him if he wants a tune-up.
Right. See,
'Cause he
that's
knows.
exactly.
Like, you
It's
give him
just,
3 or 4 good ones.
Exactly.
You don't got to do it constantly.
Right. You
So-
don't overuse it. I mean, we're not espousing abuse. You
Right.
know? It's just you put the fear of God in them.
Yeah. And then they respect
That's how
you.
it's always been. That's old
I mean,
school.
I don't want to be walked on by my kid. But this mom in Alaska, who, it's on the internet, so it must be true. Jessica Beagley was shown forcing hot sauce down her adopted son's throat. Not even her own kid.
God. I thought you were going to say in the eyes, and it would be Fletcher.
Oh, my goodness. Then forcing him into a cold shower as punishment for lying.
He's probably drinking the water when he's in the shower.
Oh, my goodness. She had 10-year-old daughter tape her as part of an Angry Mom segment for Dr. Phil. After the producers egged her on.
Okay, see, look, I want to talk about that for
Whoa.
a second, because this is where society goes wrong. Because now everybody is hating the mom, but at the same time she gets glamorized and she's gonna have like
Her
a huge
5 minutes.
off of this. Yeah,
5
she's
minutes
gonna have
of
her
fame from Dr. Phil, who's a
Exactly.
freaking joke anyways.
exactly. So and then she'll probably come out with a book, How I Turned Around My Life.
Yeah,
These people are being rewarded for horrific behavior. She should go to jail.
Well, speaking of which, I mean, it says the producers egged her on.
Right there, those people should go to jail.
They should. After the segment aired, child abuse charges were brought against her, and she was ultimately convicted of child abuse.
I think she should go to jail, convicted of child abuse, like you said, and then she should sue the producers, and they should have to donate money to child abuse charity,
Definitely. And
not to her. She shouldn't
Right.
get the money.
So here's the other thing: is she actually did a really good thing because,
The hot sauce thing?
to begin with, she adopted a kid. Like that takes, I think, some
that's
courage.
True. Totally.
Because I mean, along with the kid, you're getting all kinds of
Yeah, it depends
genetic
on the time.
potential problems.
Yeah, well, that
Right.
aside, it depends on the age of the kid. I mean, if
Right.
you're adopting an older kid, I think that takes a lot more courage because
Definitely.
they probably have a lot of
Issues.
baggage that comes with
Right.
that. So I mean, anybody who takes that on, we have to give them some props.
Definitely. And
But the hot sauce thing kind of takes away the props.
it does. I mean, it's such a tough call because I got soap in my mouth when I was a kid, and
I think everybody did.
yeah, but like Baraxo powdered soap.
Oh yeah, that's real bad, dude.
No, I didn't get that.
No,
but
that's
just
real bad.
that's gnarly.
But
Could you
hot
imagine?
sauce is gnarly.
Dude, what if it
I
was
wonder
like,
what brand of hot
That's
sauce.
what I was just thinking. What if it's like sriracha?
I
or
think
is
it was
like Rick's
I think it was
scorching?
Bobby Blotzer's Blot Sauce. I think that's what it was.
What's that commercial for that hot sauce where that old lady's Rick's hot
Oh,
sauce where she's like, "That's
never saw
hot shit" or something like.
I never
like,
saw that, but there is this thing called Dave's Insanity Sauce. Have you ever
That's
tried that?
that commercial.
I put like 1 drop of that on my tongue one time, and I sweated for 20 minutes.
dude, that
I can't take super hot stuff.
I like hot stuff, but I know it's real hot when my eyelids start sweating.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Oh my goodness!
But my friend Tony Scherer, who loves hot sauce, he says it's just as hot coming out as it is going in. I don't know about that, but
Stingring, I'm not into it.
okay, what's the next story?
I like this one. Girl brings dad's cocaine to school. How about this? Let's see where this is at.
Yeah, tell me where in Florida that happened.
in Florida. You know that saying, telling tales out of school? I don't get it. One 10-year-old girl shared her dad's business, his illegal business in school, by accidentally bringing in his coke stash to show and tell.
I think I heard about this. Yeah, this happened a while ago, right?
It's doesn't say here.
He's not the fastest scanner,
Well,
Andy.
you know, I barely graduated high school.
Yeah.
In fairness to her,
that's
it
readily
was
apparent.
hidden in a gummy bear bag and looked to her like candy. What an
Powdered
interesting-
white candy.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's 10.
So what? At 10, I knew what powdered white candy. Okay, that's not candy.
You knew it. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I would know that's not candy.
Yeah, but yeah, if it, especially if it
And
was
you know
in a
what? You would
gummy
think
bear
that
bag.
any. Well, yeah, maybe she couldn't see it, but if you could see the powdered white candy, be careful with that microphone. It's worth more than your car.
Hey.
You would think that any kid would go, "Oh, what is this? Let me taste it." I wonder if she did that.
Ooh. But what happens when you taste Coke? Your mouth
gets
goes
totally
numb or
numb.
something?
I mean, that's what I heard. I wouldn't know
Yeah.
anything about it.
I wouldn't. Never.
So what happened with the kid? I mean, were they
Doesn't-
busted?
It doesn't go on to say. It just says
Oh, it's got to say something about what happened.
that must have been an interesting parent-teacher conference. That's how that story is summed up, which
That's
I
awesome.
gotta agree.
I would have to say that somehow the police got involved.
I would hope.
And you know what? If the dad is putting the Coke in gummy bear packages, he is a total pile.
Beyond.
Sorry, dude.
Why is he even bringing it into the house?
Well,
Like-
I mean, he's a probably, setting up little bindles for people, but buy a Ziploc baggie like everybody else.
Right. Here's kind of a something semi-interesting. 8 discipline mistakes parents make. Telling big lies is number 1.
You'll have to elaborate. I don't get it.
Well, for example, my 2-year-old daughter Chloe fights me about going to her babysitter's house every Monday.
You're reading, right? You don't have a 2-year-old daughter named Chloe.
Well, no, I don't.
Okay, I'll have to slap you.
I might. I pointed out to the house next door and told her it was a daycare center run by the caveman from the Geico commercials.
What?
Which really scare her, says Mom.
You know what? I kind of like that.
I said she had a choice to go to the sitter's house or to the caveman's daycare. She picked the babysitter's house.
I kind of like that. I don't think that's parenting fail. I think it's just funny.
I think it is because
the weird thing is that kids can be terrified every time they see a Geico commercial.
That's good.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah, I think that brings something interesting though. Is like, sometimes you have to manipulate kids into getting them to do it.
Absolutely. And here's this is the problem. You as a parent must be smarter than your kid.
Right.
And if you allow your kid to use psychological warfare tactics on you, you should give up your kid to somebody with a brain.
By far.
Because especially when I see people are outsmarted by a 5-year-old,
yeah,
that is really sad. And I routinely see that in Walmart and Kmart.
Well,
nothing against those stores, but there's something about a magnet for craziness that they got going on.
Dude, or KFC, psychosis.
I wouldn't know about that, but I mean, I'd be interested in going to KFC and for a day with the camera and checking it out.
Could you imagine? Oh man. See, I don't think I have a big problem about making up lies like that to your kid. I mean,
are there any other good ones on there?
There's, let's see, backing down. You want a surefire to make sure your kids never listen to you? Threaten but don't act.
Okay, that's what I always see. I always see parents back down from their threats.
Yep.
Like the kid calls their bluff, and that's what I say. The kid is outsmarting them psychologically, and they are ultimate parenting fail right there.
Well, I think, as a parent, you're called to be a leader and to be an example to your kid.
And you know what's the lamest thing, women, is when you try to be your kid's best buddy. It's not about that. You are supposed to be guiding them in life, and a lot of that becomes being a disciplinarian.
Yep. And leave it up to dad. Dad always gets...
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to tell your dad about this one.
I mean, in some respects that can work. I mean, that's what worked when I was growing up. Right. That was always the deal. But my mom was not afraid of being a gnarly disciplinarian.
Right.
Not at all.
And if you expect your kid to tell you and be honest with you, and I mean, how are you going to back down when you say, I'm going to spank you if you do that again, and the kid does it 100 more times?
Yeah, it's usually not even spank. Like when I go into Walmart or whatever and I see that happening, they go, we're leaving if you keep doing that. And then the kid keeps doing that and they don't leave. Or the kid throws a gnarlier tantrum because of that, and the mom tries to appease them. And it is a gnarly thing to get into when your kid is going totally haywire and the entire store is looking at you. But you just have to go, okay, we're out of here right now. Yeah. And just grab them and take them out of there, because otherwise that kid will go, oh, cool, I got the hot button now. Yep. I know what to press.
And, I think it shows that the kid knows what they can get away with.
Exactly. And kids are not as dumb as you think they are. They're really good at manipulating stuff, and that's what they're learning in life.
Well, they learn it from day one. You cry,
somebody
comes and picks you up.
Exactly. So let me just cry all the time. And I really love it when kids do that when I'm on the airplane flight to Europe. That's my favorite thing.
I'm looking forward to my trip on Monday. I hope there's like 7,000 babies on the flight.
Oh, there will be.
Oh, my. Oh.
And it'll be right behind you.
Oh, and right next to me.
Awesome.
But how do they kick her off if her baby poops?
What are you doing with your kid?
He's staying with mom. Yeah, staying with mom.
That's
school.
Awesome.
He wants to go.
I would be
don't blame
stoked
him.
if I were a little kid and my dad was going to Hawaii and I couldn't go. I'd be
Right?
super stoked.
But as a kid, his job is school.
Yeah, I
And
know.
in first grade, that's your job, is to go to school. He did tell me he doesn't like school because they don't let him take naps, which is
That's
kind
awesome.
of funny because
But don't they let you take naps in kindergarten?
no,
I thought
He
they
didn't-
used to.
he didn't take naps last year, and on top of it, on days that he's not in school, he won't take a nap. So I don't really get. I think he's just trying to play that card. But then he said, "Oh well, I guess I could take a snoozer in the library."
But
at
I mean,
lunch."
wait a second. First grade, isn't he only in school from like 8 to 1 or something like that?
8:35 until 3:02 in the afternoon.
3:02. Oh, okay. So he's on the big boy time now.
He is.
So when do the kids get out at like noon or something? Is that preschool?
That's kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
Well, kindergarten now is like 1:50. That's
Yeah.
what he went to last year.
So I mean, just tell him, dude, you can stay awake from 8 to 3.
Yeah.
You can do it,
Yeah.
and then take a nap at 3:30.
Yeah. You know the interesting
Like
thing
you
is,
do.
Well, 3:30 is pushing it, but he got into a first and second grade combo class this year, and it's
Yeah, that's rad.
interesting dynamic because there's 20 first graders and 10 second graders.
Huh.
So the first grade parents are all like, "Oh, my kid's super smart." They have that air about them, and
Yeah, exactly.
but then on the other side of the coin is the second grade parents who hate the class because they feel like their kid is being called stupid for being in the class. But I mean, let's get down to the facts.
Let's
Some
get down to the
kids are
facts.
freaking stupid.
Let's get down to the facts. The education system here is abysmal. And the best thing you can do is to try to help your kid learn as much as possible when they're at home, because school, I mean, it won't take them very long to be smarter than the teacher.
Right.
Probably by 6th grade, they'll be smarter than the teacher.
Right. And I mean, as a parent, that's your job anyways, to teach your kid
And
constantly.
the best thing is when those manipulative kids we were talking about,
Right.
they learn how to attack the teacher,
Oh,
psychological, and those teachers have a meltdown,
No,
total meltdown, because they don't know how to handle it.
I think teachers these days are softer than parents.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, they're not allowed to do any kind of disciplinarian stuff,
not
so you
true.
got to give, huh?
Spanking and paddling is still legal, but it's just frowned upon.
It's
and
not here, I don't think, is
I
it?
think it is. Should we
I
Google
know it is
that?
in Florida.
Well, maybe some of these kids should go to
But
Florida.
yeah, I got spanked, but never by the teachers. Always the
Ooh.
principal. You get sent to the principal's office.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's always what it was.
Did you get spanked?
Dude, I was in there like continually. I knew the principal by the first name. We just hung out for a while and just chatted like this, like we are right now. And then he's like, "Okay, we gotta take care of business."
This is
okay.
gonna hurt me more than it hurts you.
Yeah.
thing.
So
I never understood that thing. It's gonna hurt me more than it's gonna hurt you.
it's a lie to try to make it feel better.
It's totally a lie.
Yeah. So
Moving on.
okay, what do you got?
All right. We have the teacher. This was in the news yesterday, right? No, today. This is current.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday, maybe. But go ahead and
The
read it.
story's from today. The teacher accidentally reveals racy photos of herself to students on the school-issued iPad.
Wait, the school's giving people iPads.
Apparently,
That's
my
got
son's
to be
going to the
cheap.
wrong school.
But let's throw
I
more
might
money
go
at the
back to
schools.
school for one of
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
4 middle school students in Indiana were suspended for finding racy photos of their teacher on a school-issued iPad.
And why would she have photos of her
Well,
naked on the iPad?
Here's where it gets tricky. Apparently, the teacher took revealing photos of herself on her iPhone. Then, via Apple's iCloud photo stream service, the photos ended up on the school's iPad, which was linked to her iTunes
awesome.
account.
She's such a... I don't want to say retard, because that would be insulting retarded people.
Not smart.
She is
That would be
so
insulting
mentally
retarded people.
crippled that
Oh.
she accidentally synced the school iPad to her iTunes account. And
That's ridiculous.
then, first of all, so she's taking pictures of herself naked, like probably sending it to her boyfriend or something, right?
That's what we're going at.
I wonder if her boyfriend is like 17 and in one of her classes.
That is the tricky part.
It seems
What
to
if
happen a lot. Where was this story happening?
Indiana, so it's
Oh.
definitely possible.
Yeah, if it was
It's
Florida,
defi-
I'd say for sure it
For
happened.
sure.
Definitely.
We don't like Florida today.
I don't.
I don't.
Yeah,
ever.
no, there's a lot of good things about Florida, but they do have some sort of special talent for
Producing
human
whack
craziness.
jobs. Let's see. In case you're not familiar with iCloud or PhotoStream, if you take a photo on one iOS device, like an
Yeah, it goes to
iPhone
all your devices,
or
right?
iPod Touch, it can appear across iOS devices using that iTunes account.
That's awesome.
But back to the question is, why is it linked to her school's? Why would she do
She
that?
probably maybe she's trying to like pull up some music or something and just sync to everything.
Oh, so it gets trickier. So the school explained its decision, saying a teacher gave certain students access to a school-owned iPad, which had been assigned to her.
Oh, okay. So, they're not giving it out to the kids,
Right? It wasn't.
But some schools actually do that, right?
right? Redondo Union, you get a laptop your freshman year, and I think you have to give it back when you're a senior. I don't think you get a new one
that's
every
pretty
year.
crazy.
But
Yeah, because it's really difficult to learn how to Google stuff. It takes 4 years.
Oh, see, now a little more of the story's coming out. Because yesterday it was saying that they just popped up and these kids were saying, it's not my fault, I got why should I be suspended, that the teacher had naked pictures. But the students explored the iPad and went to unauthorized applications, one of which was iPhotos. Unbeknownst to the teacher, a picture was on the teacher's personal cell phone, had been stored in iCloud, and therefore streamed to her
That sounds
school-owned
fishy.
iPad.
That sounds fishy.
I think it's more now
But
like
why
the schools
in
trying to cover themselves up.
Dude, the
trying to save
chick
themselves.
had naked photos of herself on the phone.
Which, I mean,
You have naked photos of yourself on your phone? Is that what you're going to tell me?
quite a few, as a matter of fact. That is weird. I don't even have pictures of myself on my phone. So yeah, what is she doing? Like,
That's an excellent question.
if you were gonna text that to someone, wouldn't you go back through and delete it?
Yeah, weren't you telling me you always delete your normal text, not even your naked pictures of yourself text?
Right. I mean, just my random ones telling my mom I love her. Or thank you for printing.
Yeah, I
something.
mean, that is really weird. But
It's
then again, I mean,
preposterous.
this goes back to saying, some students get smarter than the teachers. Obviously, this is a great
prime
example.
of that fact. Oh my goodness.
And what's the whole phenomenon of sexting? What's that all about? I mean, kids are doing it. How young are they doing it? Are we talking about like 13-year-old kids?
I don't know. I mean, how many kids, 10-year-old kids have you seen with cell phones? I mean, I don't think
I see 8-year-old kids. I see 6-year-old kids with cell phones.
Right, and like their own personal. But then, when
But
does
the
that
thing that
sexual
blows me
maturity
away-
age start wanting to do that?
Yeah, and what are the legal repercussions? I mean, does that get into like child porn?
That's
I mean, technically it is, but what if it's a child's phone?
right.
I don't know how that works.
Well,
What if they accidentally sync their phone to iCloud?
Oh my goodness! Can you imagine?
And
Your
some
mom's
teacher
like,
ends up with a ton of child porn on their iPad. Oh my god!
That could be all bad news. But
Somebody goes to the pen over an accidental click of the button.
that brings up a good point: is what is the big? Why do people do it? Why don't they just go over to someone's house and knock one out instead of taking?
You mean like a 13-year-old kid? Just
Yeah.
go over to somebody's house and take off your clothes?
right?
Because
mean,
it's safer, dude. Hello.
they can hide behind the phone.
There you go.
Is that
Just like everybody goes on YouTube and hides behind their anonymous names
Mhm.
and makes mean comments about people.
Right. And then that brings up the whole bullying thing. Like when I was a kid, we didn't have phones. We
Yeah,
didn't
the
have
other thing is, what if
internet.
what if some bully steals some other kid's phone and then sends
Ooh.
like naked texts to
all his contacts?
Exactly.
Ooh,
Not good.
not good. But I mean, that's
Hey kids, don't do that. Save yourself a lot of household trouble and
Right.
legal problems. Don't do that.
and then that brings up the whole bullying on Facebook and like 10-year-old, 11, 12, 13, 15-year-old
Yeah,
kids.
what is all that? Okay,
killing
that's something I
themselves?
want to talk about, because when I was a kid, bullying has probably been going on since before humans.
Since like caveman.
No, before humans. Before cavemen, before humans. Like primate monkeys get bullied by other stronger monkeys.
And what do you
do? So what I'm saying is no monkey has said, I'm going to jump out of this tree and kill myself and break my neck because I'm feeling bullied. So this is like a new phenomenon for me because everybody got bullied when I was a kid, but nobody killed themselves over it.
I didn't necessarily get bullied because I had 2 older brothers. So
yeah, so your bullying was all in a family.
Right. And I knew everybody that was older than me, more or less, and they all knew me, but
I mean, like, what's the phenomenon with kids taking their own lives because they're feeling bullied? Like, that
over
escapes
some
me.
Facebook comments or something? Yeah, delete your account, right?
I mean, I've seen some pretty horrendous teasing of kids like that I felt bad about. Like, when I was a kid, this girl just got, like, super abused by other kids, but I guarantee you she didn't take her own life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how do you decide to do that at 13? End your life?
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
That's pretty radical.
I don't know if it's a cultural thing with movies and stuff like that, but it's weird how bullying just popped to the forefront when it was nobody ever talked about it. You saw it in a movie once in a while about kids movie.
When you're a kid, if someone was being mean to you, you said, "Let's meet at the flagpole at 3:00 or something," right? You just went out and fought them. No,
because when the kid's way bigger than you and they go, "Give me your lunch money," and you just take it and run and cry, or you get pummeled, and then they take it and then you run and cry.
Right, it's a win.
This is your
lose situation.
Lose, full lose. But rather lose your lunch money than get pummeled.
There, $2 versus getting a black eye and a bears.
My day is like probably cents.
30 cents for lunch. The fruit cup, remember the fruit cup?
Fruit cups are awesome, dude. I actually stayed. I stood by the trash can and just asked people, "Do you want that? Do you want that?" I ate like 30 fruit cups in a row.
So you didn't even pay 30 cents for lunch. You just ate fruit cups for lunch.
It was awesome, dude. My mom gave me a brown bag lunch with just all healthy crap in it, which I hated. So I was like a mini entrepreneur, and I would trade people carrots for fruit cups and stuff. I would go, "Hey, you want that?" Or like a brownie. I'd be like, "Hey, I'll trade you these carrots. They're really good for your eyes, for your eyesight." And it would work. It was awesome.
That's pretty.
I think I lost my business sense somewhere along the line.
I think so.
Yeah.
We've been reduced to free podcasts.
Sad. And music, the music industry imploding.
Oh, my
just
goodness.
Giving away free music.
How's that been for you?
Oh, it's great. All the kids steal it, and you spend tons of time and money putting it together, and you come out with nothing. It's bitching.
Right. How? I mean, when's the last time you saw a record label sign a band? Do they even do that?
Yeah, they sign bands still. Yeah.
Still?
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of the labels are just taking total hit.
Right.
And so that's why they're doing these things called 360 deals, where they say, we get a percentage of your record sales, a percentage of your touring, and a percentage of your merchandise. So
wow.
Yeah, they catch you coming and going. But the reason is they're trying to make up all this lost revenue from what used to be record sales.
Right. But so how does the whole iTunes thing work? $9.99 for the new CD.
iTunes takes, I think, what do they take? Like 30 cents out of $1 or something like that?
Out of every dollar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then and then if you're splitting that with the label or whatever, you're getting hammered.
Right. So let's say the budget for one of the last records you worked on. What was the budget?
100,000.
Oh my goodness.
They'll never recoup in a million years.
Never. How are they? What?
I have no idea. They're crazy. They're Italians. And the craziest of all Italians is they're from Naples. I don't know if anybody out there is Italian, but the craziest Italians, any Italian will tell you, is from Naples.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
It's like a lawless Wild West kind of vibe.
I think I want to go there.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. Actually, that's where Pompeii is. If you ever end up going to Pompeii,
okay,
it's right outside of Naples.
Okay, when's the last time you were there?
2 years ago.
I thought you were. It was more recent. Oh no, that was Prague. You were just in.
Yeah, Prague.
Right. Man, $100,000, and they'll
never make that money.
No wonder they're taking percentage of touring.
But I mean, that's a rarity. Most bands aren't getting $100,000. Some of the smaller indie bands might be getting 20 or 30 grand. Real small indie bands are getting like 10 grand or 5 grand even to do a record. So I mean, they spend weeks in the studio to make a record, and who knows how long the writing process is coming up,
Right.
before they enter the studio.
Right.
And the studio, a microphone can cost $4,000 or $5,000 or $8,000. So all the
Easily.
equipment in the studio is really expensive. And then you put the record together, and then it costs like thousands of dollars to master it. And then you press it up, which is thousands, and then you put it out, and then people go, cool, I'm going to just put this on peer-to-peer.
It's a tragedy.
It's brutal. Yeah, it's a travesty.
How-
Let's not talk about music anymore because it's just depressing.
It's just depressing. I could only imagine.
What's your next story? So, Andy, I got one for you.
All right.
So, this is in England. It says, bemused Trevor Hames, 37, and son Zach had just finished their weekly shop at Asda in Somerset when they went to buy Lucky Dip tickets at the kiosk. I guess this is like some kind of lottery ticket or
Okay.
something. Zach then stepped forward and asked for tickets, but the cashier turned him down on grounds of his age. I don't know. Maybe you have to be like 18 to buy it. Is that how lottery tickets are here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever. That's cool.
So the dad was denied? Or
No,
the kid?
that's the kid. But then it
Okay.
says,
Okay.
then Trevor, who is the dad, then tried to buy him, and he was also turned down because he could just hand him straight to Zach and encourage him to gamble. Trevor is so furious that he handed the entire 50-pound trolley of goods. So I guess 50 pounds is in dollars. I don't know. It's like $75 or something
It's
like
probably
that.
more than that, right?
I don't know. Who knows? And then
know
we
the
don't care
conversion
because
rate.
we're in America.
Right.
And then a
That's the
trolley would be like a shopping cart.
Okay.
Whatever, of goods, and demanded a refund. And he was pissed. He said, initially I thought they were joking, but when they said they couldn't serve me, the woman said I was teaching my son to gamble. So, I mean, my question is this. Right now, if you went to the liquor store and bought lottery tickets, you can take them home and have your kid scratch them off. That's
Right.
your business, right?
Right.
So if you walked in with your kid, can they refuse you lottery tickets and say you might possibly give those to your kid?
No, I don't think they could, but I think what they're going with is the kid tried to buy him first. So they're saying that they would be directly responsible because knowing the kid tried to buy him, and then 2 seconds later the dad said, never mind, I'll buy him.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
It'd
I
be
mean-
like, because if a kid said, hey, can I have a beer? And you said no.
Right.
And then your dad said, can I have that exact same beer?
Or like some random guy says, you know what, that kid, I'll buy him a beer or something. So it's I mean, that's going on to telling some parent what he can and can't do, though, right? I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, I see your point, because if the guy is, if the kid originally tried to buy it, I think that's where you're screwed.
right.
So
right.
learn your
here's the
lesson,
deal.
Dad. You buy it first.
If you buy it first, if you're banking on scratchers, that's a problem in the first place.
Dude, scratchers being your IRA is a bad plan.
Should never be plan A, B, or C.
Yeah. So, I mean, make sure everything's cool financially and you have a backup plan. And then if you want to buy scratchers like randomly, just in case you enhance it,
Right. So,
then cool.
but on the
But you probably make more money collecting cans.
I mean, you'll make money actually
Over your lifetime.
versus spending $5 to lose.
Right.
Which brings up another interesting topic: is my boss, who should go unnamed, maybe.
You working now?
But when I do, my boss, we might have to have an intervention with him. Goes by,
Is he drinking?
No.
Gambling.
Yes.
You caught him in Vegas with a bevy of hookers.
Well, if I did, I mean, I wouldn't. I would just, it stays in Vegas. But so I went to his truck. We were out at a job site on Wednesday. Went to his truck to grab a pen out of his center console. No joke, 100 scratched lottery tickets.
100?
100 scratched.
Well, maybe he just doesn't throw them
scratches.
away for like a year.
No, and then I confronted him about it.
Well,
And,
some people have a problem. My friend Todd, he was in a casino, not in Vegas, but like a casino around Gardena, I think.
Right.
And in Gardena, you can play cards and stuff, but they don't have one-armed bandits or anything like that.
Right.
It's only certain games they have. They don't have poker, I think. But
No, they
This
have
is
poker.
this is
I
bad
heard.
when the dealer gives you a Gamblers Anonymous card.
Yeah.
That's when you know you're in bad shape.
That's he's like, dude, you went to the 40% interest ATM machine 6 times.
40%. That must be the same one they have in strip clubs.
Dude. It's like you just dropped
You want $10, it's
$1,000.
going to cost you $7.
You just dropped $1,000 in 8 minutes. Here's a card. So I actually I did confront
Your boss.
said named
Your
person.
sometime boss.
Yeah, who I think you know who I'm talking about. And I asked him, "Do you have a scratcher problem?"
Oh my goodness! I just realized who you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was like, I said, kind of jokingly but semi-seriously, I said, "Are we gonna need to do an intervention on you?" And he kind of laughed because it was kind of funny. But
Was it that nervous laugh?
yeah, and like
I've heard that before.
I'm working type thing, like so. I was trying to figure out if he keeps him in his work truck so that his wife doesn't know the problem, right? Because I mean, if I was married,
Yeah.
and-
She's not going to go search his work truck.
right?
Yeah.
And I mean,
Well,
maybe not 100 scratchers, but pretty darn close. And I asked him, what's that time period, like a week? And he said, maybe 2.
Oh
And
my goodness!
And they're like the black gold
That's
ones, like,
14 days. That's like buying 10 a day almost.
and it's like they're like this all the $7 and $5 ones, no dollar scratchers. They're all the expensive ones.
Wow.
Like, first of all, you make way too much money.
I mean, that's 10 that's 10 a day because he's not driving his work truck on the weekends, right?
That's right.
So, wow.
Might have to call him up here in a minute.
Yeah, Mr. G, you better settle down with
Mr.
that.
G. So how about this one? We got in yesterday. Where's this kid from? Well, we'll get to there. Oh, Iowa, another fantastic state.
It's a cool state.
I don't know.
Especially if you like corn.
Well,
I like corn.
you know what I like about corn? You can eat it twice.
That's disgusting.
That's why I
dude.
never eat corn.
Edit.
Edit. Rewind, erase. A mother in Iowa was left outraged after she says her 9-year-old son's music teacher instructed his schoolmates to spit on him in class last week.
He must have played really terribly.
This is awesome. Like,
Actually, you know what? That
you were
could be
flat
a great.
on that note.
Yeah, that could be a great. That could be like an American Idol kind of show.
That
They have bands play, and if they're really insanely terrible, we spit on them.
you spit on him.
But isn't it like aren't the UK guys like punk? Don't they consider that sort of like you're really good
What's
when
that?
punk rock bands play in the UK and then they spit on them?
I never got that. That's just gross
But
because
don't they do that over there?
Yeah.
Like,
They
hey,
do it
we
over-
like you, so we're gonna cover you and spit.
well, a certain band, Guttermouth, they
Is that what
had
they-
that whole thing where people were spitting on them.
Oh man, that's
And
nasty.
Mark, their singer, had a cut on his knee on the Warped Tour,
Uh-huh.
and someone spit on him. And the next day, the cut went from 1 inch to like 3 inches big. He ended up going to the hospital. He had flesh-eating disease.
Oh my god.
He almost lost his leg, dude.
That's awesome.
So now, like, this was almost 10 years ago. People still spit on him, and he gets furious. And I'm like, well, it's your fault. Why
Well-
would you want people to spit on you? Why would you think that's funny?
Yeah, once you initiate that kind of mentality, you can't stop it.
If you
let
accept
the
it
cat out of
once,
the bag.
yeah, exactly.
Don Dawkin told me one time he's on stage. I think it was in England, and people were spitting on him just because they thought that was cool. And then he looked over at his bass player. He's playing with his mouth open with a total rock face, and he just watched the loogie go right in the dude's mouth.
What would you
my
do?
God. That's nasty.
Oh my! Do you just pretend it didn't happen and keep going?
I can imagine the next face is not at all a rock face.
I would say it is not a rock face.
But I mean, tell us a little more about that story. That seems there's got to be more to it. That's crazy.
Whoa. Okay, so it says Jackson Kindup told this TV station that he'd been sticking out his tongue and blowing raspberries at a classmate When his music teacher confronted him, my music teacher asked me how I would like it if someone did that to me. Everyone gathered around me.
I knew there was more to the
And she
story.
said, ladies and gentlemen, spit away.
Whoa.
I like
That
it.
is heavy.
That's a pretty heavy teacher.
But I mean, come on.
She should get an award.
Yeah, but there's no way she's not getting away with that. She's gonna be severely reprimanded.
Well, let's see. If someone does this, someone does this, what else are people capable of? His mom wondered aloud, referring to the teacher. If she's going to snap over something that minuscule, what's she going to do if something else happens? Jackson said the lone student who did not spit on him was blah, 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 blah. According to a post on Facebook page, the teacher had admitted that making students spit on her son was an error in judgment, but did not apologize.
Of course not.
Wow. So what do they do with her? The safety and well-being of students. This is the principal speaking now. The safety and well-being of students
is our highest priority.
District's first priority.
Yeah, they always say that.
Takes all claims of bullying and harassment seriously. Investigates all complaints. On Friday, the superintendent told the Daily Mail.
Bottom line, that teacher's going to get the hammer brought down on her.
She's been placed on paid leave pending an investigation.
There you go. End the story. That's all you need to know.
Bye.
Yep.
Never teaching again.
But I think they probably can't fire her. I mean, these days it's like insanely hard to fire a teacher, right?
Teachers union. That's that whole Prop 32 in California.
Yeah, so I mean, you know, you got to. She'll probably be on leave, so she'll be getting paid the same amount of money just to kick back and watch Netflix.
Yeah, so her pension's probably good, so she's just gonna hang. All right.
What else do you got?
Baby.
So what do you got next?
All right. Here is definitely newsworthy. Sandra Bullock beams while cradling her son Lewis as they enjoy a relaxing stroll. This actually makes it to the papers.
What is it? Just a stroll? That's all they're talking about?
Taking a break from her work commitments, Sandra Bullock has been spending time with her
what
number
paper
one
is
man.
this you're reading?
This is your paper, Daily Mail.
Oh, it's an English paper, that's why.
Pictured on Thursday.
There must not be much happening in England, just like an international crisis.
Right. This is a picture of her in Beverly Hills.
And why are they talking about Sandra Bullock? She's not even an English actress.
Well, you know, she got real popular over a few movies that she made.
Oh.
But, I mean, here's the thing.
Is she playing Margaret Thatcher or something?
I guess. I mean, was The Blind Side really that good? Anyways, what is the deal with adopting black babies? Not that I am.
You mean, are you talking about babies from Africa? Is that what you're trying to say?
That's what
your own,
I
like, little
my own
mentally
racist
crippled way. So
it's
that is something, you know, that is
celebrity
something. Who started that? Was that Madonna who started that?
Was it Madonna
or
or
at
maybe
least that was
Angelina? Maybe they're competing for that top spot.
Yeah, I can't remember who came first. It's like chicken and an egg kind of thing. But I mean, it seemed to be something that I think we talked about the merits of adoption and how we give props to people who adopt, but the fact that in celebrity circles it's become like an accessory, like a Louis Vuitton purse,
it's
to have an African baby. Yeah, that's weird.
Why? I mean, why is that? Like,
and
does it show that you're not racist, that you're that compassionate?
No, I think
for
what
people?
it shows is that you are trying to help Africa. But I think if those people set aside money and started some organization to fight poverty in Africa, it'd be way more effective than like adopting one single African baby.
And it's the good-looking kid, you know. Adopt an ugly one.
Well,
Show
I don't like examining the kid photos, but I mean,
well,
I think the idea behind it is kind of like it's self-serving.
I think maybe it's just they are racist and they're trying to convince themselves that they're not.
You know, there's other guys like I got to give some props to Matt Damon because he has a charity that builds wells in Africa.
Right. And wasn't he the first one on the ground in Haiti, bringing water to them after the earthquake? Or
first it might have been Sean Penn. It's one of those. Yeah, I mean, I think it might have been Sean Penn because that was at I think he went over associated with Wyclef's charity, which has turned into a disaster of titanic proportions.
Well, look who started it.
And now he's persona non grata over there, which is pretty amazing.
Right.
He went from running for president to getting shot.
Wait,
That's
Wyclef?
a pretty big thing. Yeah.
What, he ran for president?
Yeah, yeah.
When was this?
Well, a little while after that earthquake.
President of Haiti?
Yeah.
And then they shot him for it?
I call it hating.
Hating. Well, that's kind of... Yeah,
But I mean,
you're hating.
I mean, I'm not a huge Sean Penn fan, but that guy has been on the ground over there from the get-go, and his charity takes, I think, 10% is administration fees, and Wyclef's was like 50%.
Oh, yeah, that's when you know they're crooked.
That's when you go, hey, I'm doing a lot of work here, so I want to get paid really well.
Really well, because my music sucks.
But going back to Matt Damon, he is... he's digging wells in villages and rural villages in Africa where they don't have clean water to drink, which spreads massiff disease and all kinds of problems.
Right. Or they got to hike.
And that's the kind of thing, I think, where a celebrity could put their money to good use that benefits a group of people rather than one individual kid.
Right.
And then what happens when you're a celebrity, you adopt an African baby, and then they turn out to be a spoiled little brat and get all hooked up on Oxycontin.
Right.
And go to jail for drunk driving, Lindsay Lohan.
And then, it's just, are you really helping, or are you just creating another problem?
Right, exactly. I mean, Kids from Malibu, there are tons of actors' sons and daughters that are all jacked up.
That they just have the license to be a retard because don't you know who my dad is?
Yeah, and we're not trying to rip on retards. He meant to say mentally crippled.
Mentally crippled. So how about this? What is it?
I don't even think we're supposed to say retard. I don't think we're supposed to say we're not trying to rip on retards. I think we're not supposed to use that phrase at all.
Us down.
So
episode
one,
we got to change our name.
You know what we mean.
How is this? I mean, this is pretty interesting. People are just now finding out that apparently there's a story that dogs licking your face spreads disease. People are just now finding this out.
Yeah, I love that because you see some girl going, "Give me kisses, give me kisses," and then the dog's licking them all over the mouth and up in the nostril and stuff.
So disgusting. And
then
then she wants you to kiss her because you're a boyfriend or something. Ugh.
Yeah, I think it's great. So basically, those girls are gonna get like Ebola or bubonic plague or something. It's killer.
I think they deserve it though, because there's another phenomena. Our favorite word of the day, 2 points. The whole I have a dog, so that means I'm a good parent type thing.
Actually, I think it's phenomenon is one.
Right.
So go ahead.
So since we're on phenomena number 2.
Go ahead.
What's up with women and animals? Single girls, women, young ladies, early 20s, is this proving their independence that they own
it's another purse.
animals?
It's another Louis Vuitton purse. It's a fashion accessory. But you know what? That doesn't bother me nearly. That does bother me a little bit, but what bothers me way more is some douchebag guy at the beach who just got out of the gym, went home to get his little chihuahua so he can walk it on the beach. Totally yoked up dude with a little tiny chihuahua.
Obviously not from around here.
You might as well put a pink bow in it.
Dude, you can't be less manly than being a buffed out dude walking a chihuahua.
It's so lame. It's like, I'm trolling for chicks. Check me out.
And you can't even pretend that that's your girlfriend's dog, because no man would even walk that dog.
Well, sometimes your chick forces you to do shit like that.
Walk a totally insignificant, stupid little dog.
I think you get more chicks walking a turtle.
Yeah, I think you get more chicks walking a kid.
I know you know about that.
I wouldn't know. I've heard you can play football and anyways, this dog thing, it's driving me nuts. I don't like it.
I mean, where do you see that? Are you talking about over at the beach and stuff?
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah, I see that all the time.
I'm this.
But the thing that what's really bugs me,
200-pound dog.
The thing that bugs me is I don't know how you feel about this, but when I'm in the eating establishment, I don't want to see someone cruising with a dog.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Seeing
a
seeing
guide
eye dog is cool.
Yeah,
I'm talking about a
totally.
purse dog.
Or yeah,
You know, the Paris Hilton purse dog.
Yeah, what is
I
that?
I don't want to have a dog like in my face around my food. People can't even let their hair down around food. They shouldn't have a dog around food.
And then you want me to like be okay with eating food right next to this thing?
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't.
I mean, the whole thing with pets in general, I think people are getting out of control, and it's like, you know, I think some couples use it as a test run for a baby. I guess that's cool, but it's too many people are going, oh,
I have an idea.
I want a pet for a fashion
Buy
accessory.
a plant.
Plants are great.
Plants are amazing.
Plants
and
are great.
I hate that word.
You know what's cool is when you see guys have plants and they're all like dead.
That's when you
know they're single.
He's quality. He's a keeper.
Then you know they're single.
He can't put water in a plant.
Any dude with a girlfriend, the plants are going to be cranking.
And if he can't put water in a plant, I mean, what? How hard is that?
That is beyond inept.
And then you expect him to marry you and be a good dude.
Yeah.
He cannot remember to put water in a plant.
But I think most chicks aren't looking for that. They're just looking for, like tattoos and cigarettes.
Well, I'm right here.
There you go.
Oh, man.
Top of the barrel.
It's like...
Hey, so I got one for you, dude.
Is this going to be a shocker?
This is another UK thing. I don't know what... Their obsession with American celebrities is kind of trippy, but...
Americans' obsession with American celebrities is kind of trippy.
But,
sorry, go on.
Britney Spears. The name is well known to everybody. This is her manager, I guess ex-manager, saying she was addicted to amphetamines and shaved her head to hide evidence of her drug taking. This her ex-manager Sam Lufty claimed in court.
In court?
Yeah, it says the superstar singer made headlines around the world when she took a razor to her head in a Los Angeles salon in 2007. I think you remember that.
Yep.
Lutfi, sorry, I said his name wrong, who was suing the Spears family for defamation and breach of contract at L.A. Superior Court, claims the star was a regular drug user and cut off her hair because she feared it contained traces of illegal substances. I love it. I wonder if they swept it up and kept it in a bag.
Ooh.
He told the court Britney feared that she was going to be drug tested by the judge presiding over a custody battle with K-Fed.
There's an interesting choice in fathers.
Wow, that is heavy, man.
Those two should just, first of all, never have been allowed to have kids.
Check this out. This says the jury also heard how the singer regularly popped more than 30 prescription amphetamine pills a day. What's prescription amphetamine? You would know.
No, easy.
What is it?
I was never a prescription amphetamine guy.
You're the downer boy.
Yes.
So whatever that is.
What would that be? Like diet pills?
Maybe.
Or maybe like Adderall or something? Because that's like...
I don't know. This says she overdosed on them in January 2008. That's pretty awesome. And she suffered a second breakdown and was placed in psychiatric care. I mean...
Is any of this really a big surprise?
Well, this goes back to my thing about like the child star phenomenon, where you have everybody from you have Britney, you have Dana Plato, which is a total tragedy, and then Gary Coleman.
Oh man,
it's almost like there's no exceptions to that rule. It's almost like every child star is a complete F up.
How many made it out? Scott Baio?
We don't know his personal life.
We don't.
But he seems to be doing all right, yeah.
He's supposed to be loaded.
But Joni is jacked.
Right.
Joni is out of freaking gourd.
Right. You know who else is, maybe you just named her name. I don't know her name. Donna from...
yeah. Is that Different Strokes chick?
No, she is definitely. But the one from that Ashton Kutcher, the 70s show.
Oh,
the hot
really?
blonde sister.
Oh, yeah,
I just
that's right.
mugshot the other day. She looks like she's 60, been hitting the pipe.
Not good. Not
good. And, I mean, what is the deal with that? Just too much money? Too much?
Yeah, I think it's, when you're... Well, they don't actually... I think the money goes into a trust till they're 18, but what happens is these kids are on the set. They don't have to go to school. They're tutored on the set. So if you have like a recurring show.
Right.
So, I mean... you don't interact with other kids. You're interacting with adults, so that's got to be weird. And then everything you want is given to you
Right.
all
You're
the
the
time.
star. You're the star.
all the time. So I mean,
Where's
it's
your
got to mess
discipline?
up your head.
Where's the
there's
discipline?
zero discipline because everybody's like, as long as they're happy, the show's gonna go well. So we're making money. We don't want to upset
Right.
the golden goose.
So here's another one. How long? We're taking bets here. How long till we start reading more of these about what's her name, Miley Cyrus?
Who knows? I
Not
mean,
long.
hopefully your dad is like, keeping her in check since he's gone through the stardom thing himself. But
I think it's kind of awesome that he's riding her coattails now. To fame.
yeah, that's
Like,
awesome.
That's pretty
It's a role
sweet.
reversal.
It's funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, she's already had some, maybe not super.
Not anything
Big
crazy.
deal.
I think she
Right.
had like a little Michael Phelps moment, right?
Right.
A
Which
little hitting the bong.
Yeah.
But
hey,
I mean, that's way mellow compared to 30 amphetamine pills.
If the guy can swim like that, he deserves to hit the bong.
Yeah. Let him do what the hell he wants on his off time.
That's right. He's winning us gold medals.
He was just named most fit person in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not hear that. So, Brittany, poor disaster of a person.
I mean, this is also the whole thing.
And
Another
her sister,
problem I
remember
have.
her sister? Pregnant at 12 or something?
That's awesome. My problem is we have this fascination with train wrecks, so we enable and encourage them.
Right. Aren't we basically paying their salary by, talking about this right now?
Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, that whole deal, all those chicks are just like a disaster, and they need intervention, but it'll never happen because that way, the Daily Mail will lose a story.
Right. You know who's pretty much disappeared is your girl Paris Hilton. We haven't heard about her.
My girl. I like that. Yeah, she started
She turned it
randomly
around,
behaving
right?
herself. But I think what happened
Was
was
it
they
the
said,
jail
we're going
time?
to cut off your money if you don't shape up.
Yep.
I would
There's
be
gotta
the
a lot.
model of behavior. if it happened to me.
If I was the heir of the Hilton, though, when mom and dad go, boom, it's game on.
Is it her grandfather that she has to suck up to right now?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But she definitely disappeared over the last however many years.
Yeah.
Right after jail, she got out and just
It happens that way for
went
some people.
underground.
Not for Lindsay, but for some other people.
Lindsay,
Yeah,
tighten
she
it up.
is. That was like a little team, right? An LA club team. It was Lindsay, Brittany, and Paris.
And
They were-
what's her name? Lionel Richie's daughter.
Oh, yeah, Nicole. huh?
Nicole. Now she's got some puppies and a steady man. So
Really?
yeah, puppies. Kids.
Yeah, same thing.
Same thing.
Puppies are trial kids.
That's right.
So, she's just laying low. Maybe she's influencing Paris to settle that, not go all crazy.
Maybe she is.
Sometimes when people lose their partner in crime, they kind of mellow out.
Yeah, one, they're obviously that, but then the partner in crime goes solo and just flushes the toilet down.
It goes haywire,
Yeah.
becomes even more of a train wreck.
I've seen that.
I mean, I think we're only a matter of time from a reality show where it's like, who could be the biggest train wreck?
I hate reality, but I would watch that.
Yeah.
That just sounds funny.
I don't think it'd be better than Duck Dynasty, but it'd be pretty funny.
Those guys, they're doing something right.
Yeah, they're making duck calls, right?
I think so.
Millions of
Is
dollars
the
worth.
ATF going to show up to their house?
Never. Because they're making money. It goes back to they're making money for a lot of people. That's what it's all about, dude.
I want to see those guys on Fox News talking about being taxed by our
I don't
dear
think
friend.
that'll happen. They're gonna keep that low. They don't want to pull a Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, man.
lose the gig.
Man, oh, man.
All right, so I think that's about it. We covered a lot of stuff. First run podcast, pretty good.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back in about a week if we can get Andy to get off his couch.
I will be off the couch, but I will be on the North Shore. So it will be in about a week and a half.
Oh, you're going next week over there?
Yeah, Monday.
Ah.
Monday. Catch some sun.
Try not to get
Maybe some shave ice.
try not to get attacked by a shark or a stingray.
Ugh. Why do you
And
have to
don't
say
grab
that?
onto any turtles.
I'm not. I'm not scared of flying, but I've really psyched myself out this time. I haven't flown in a few years, and
I
I
love
definitely
flying.
haven't been to Hawaii since I was in 8th grade.
I
But
love flying as long as there's no screening baby for the entire
right.
trip.
That's a long flight over some pretty open water. I mean,
I've done that flight like 100 times, man.
right.
Just,
What happens
just
if the plane goes down? It's just game over.
100 times. You're doing it once.
Game over. With my luck, I'll be the one time the plane goes down.
Well, I'll just get another podcast guy.
I love you too.
All right, we're out. Thanks for listening in.
All right.